Good morning, everyone. It's May 17th, and it's been about a month since I did a video, so that's what I'm doing. These are my cucumbers. I planted 5 different types, and I had 15 little pots of them, so there's 15 plants out here, or 15 settings. There's some of them, there was 2 or 3 plants in the pot. There are little cucumbers on them. I've been feeding them with some fish, ground up fish that I'd gotten, dehydrated, what have you. I'm stumbling all over my words this morning, but anyway, they are some little cucumbers on some of them, and the grass is sure liking them, liking the fertilizer. I did throw last week a handful of worm castings that I had bought, 25-pound bags, and fortunately, some of the organic fertilizers haven't gone up the way the chemical fertilizers have. I just planted these last week, and that was whenever I had the bag of worm castings out here. That was whenever I put it to the others. These haven't been watered or anything since I put them in the dirt. They're a winter squash, a pink banana. And in this bed here, this was the leftovers from years ago. There's elephant garlic all in this. And I pulled a little bit last year, and I'm going to try to get out here. This year it's doing better. It's not fully as old, but anyway, we haven't had the rains we had last year. It rotted off when you'd try to pull it. I'm tickled that some of my cucumbers are going where I want them. They're running towards the fence and up. Then these are pumpkins over here. This is Naples long. The outside of the pumpkin is green. It gets long, and then it'll have the seeds in one end of it, about the size of a softball, and then all the rest of it is flesh. But these, like I say, are the cucumbers, and like I say, the weeds have sure are enjoying the fertilizer, and I've got to get out here in a little bit. I'm going to throw another hand of fertilizer to them. But I am pleased with the way they're coming, and I hope that'll help with my grocery bill. Armadillos are liking this. This soil out here is in a low area that does retain water pretty well, and being organic for so many years and being idle now, I think this is 8 or 9 years. I just lose track sometimes, but 8 or 9 years since it's actually been planted anything in the beds. So not having been worked, the worms are enjoying it, and that was digging the holes for the pumpkins and cucumbers. About every hole I'd find half a dozen worms. The moringa here, the old trees, have got some new growth coming out on them. and they haven't had anything done to them this year. Hadn't even been cleaned up around very well. My goji berries that were up in here had decided to come out this year, and I saw a few blooms around on this side, and we're just a bit too hot for the goji berries to really do well. It's like the horseradish. It just doesn't like the hot weather we have. We've been in the 90s now the past few days. These are my squash plants, and I've been eating off of them now for about 2 weeks. And they're still bearing very well. Tomatoes haven't started coming in yet. And some more squash plants. These are the same age as the ones up here on my table. And I tried to give these away, and nobody ever come and got them. And so I may pot up a few more, but I've still got to pot up my little spinach here. I have 3 varieties of the spinach now. This one I got last year, and I've been eating off of it a couple of times a week, both in making a salad and doing just sauteing it with a little butter. My cabbages is doing well. And this is the garlic that I've really been trying to take care of for a couple of years now and increase the size of the cloves. I guess you can see in there that there is quite a few squash. My eggplants, I'm looking forward to them. And I have had a few of the bell peppers already, and really need to use them a little faster than what I do so that they'll keep bearing well. Walking up here to the door, boy, that heat will hit you. And it's only like a little after 9. These are the Egyptian walking onions. Mulberries that I rooted last year, and these are some of the older pots of horseradish. And these are the cratums that I did cover with the plastic over there this past winter, and they're coming back real well. I have one more that had the plastic over it on the other side, but I'm not going to walk over there today. But it's doing well too. And these are the morindas that I started in pots 6 or 7 years ago. And out of the 10 pots that I started, I still have 8 of the 10. And being up here with under this little awning, the edge of it, and under the trees, it stays shaded. It grows really well and fast, and it stays tender. And I kind of like that. And I have pinched the tops a few times to get it to bud and branch and get a little thicker. I had repotted my Starfruit, and it seems to appreciate it. It's got all kind of new growth on it. Haven't seen any flowers coming on yet, but I'm hopeful. I really do want to take the time sometime to air layer some of these branches and see if I can get some more started. This is the Serenum cherry, and I've never seen the flower on it, and I haven't had any beans. I hadn't had any flowers. I hadn't had any fruits. So I don't know. It's a pretty kind of bush, but like I said, I just don't know how it's going to ever do. I've got some of the, I could have showed them out there in the garden too. Got some of the air potatoes down in here that I've managed to salvage from last year. And this is my white butterfly ginger. I think it's about 10, 11 kinds of ginger now. Some of them are more or less just for the flower. These are the little horseradish that I've started, and some other gingers that I've gotten. And these are some passion fruits that I had started, and I'd planted one of those out in the garden too. And so anyway, for that, that's a video for today. I hope everyone is doing well, taking care of themselves. And I'm still washing my hands and wearing my mask when I'm out around people. It's up to you what you do, but I don't need any extras on my poor health. Blessings all.